What's up, Hokie fans? This is Coach Mike Holmes, contributor to the Sons of Saturday, come at you with the next installment of the 10-minute tailgate. Each week, we provide a curated recipe and cocktail that has something to do with the opponent that we're playing that week, and we kind of tell the little story that goes along with it. This week, the Hokies come back for a Thursday night matchup at home against Boston College. Now, a couple things about playing Boston College. This is a long-term ACC rival. They have been playing good all year. Bill O'Brien's their coach. The Hokies coming back after a trip from Stanford and then have the bye week coming into it. So we're hoping that the offense is going to show up and everything will be good going into this game. With this game, too, because it's a Thursday night, my family used to always come to tailgate on for the Thursday night games. My grandfather and great uncle would meet my parents in North Carolina, and they would drive all the way up to Blacksburg for this Thursday night game. It was always a thing. And one staple of this tailgate's a little personal to me, and it's such a simple recipe. I really think y'all are going to dig it. And it is just marinated pork strips. And with these marinated pork strips, we're going to grill them out, and we're going to have a nice tiger dill dipping sauce to dip those in. For our cocktail this week, we're going to use a Boston traditional favorite. It's called the Ward 8, and it's a rye whiskey cocktail. We'll show you guys how to make that here in just a second. Let's go ahead and start with our pork bits. So as you can see right over here, I've already taken my pork strips. I've already cut them up. And what you want here is about an inch square on these. If they're a little thin, that's great. No worries, no problem. So we want to keep those a little thin, and so we want them small so they cook relatively quickly. We can do these in batches, which is another great thing. So what we're going to do to prepare this is we have our Ziploc bag, and we're going to take these pork bits, and we're going to stick them in the pork bag here. And with this, while they're in the bag, we're going to marinate them. Now, this marinade is Dale's steak seasoning. However, it works phenomenal with pork. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to fill the bag up with some Dale's, just enough to cover the meat. We're going to seal it up and try to get some of the air out of it. Okay, and we're going to stick it in the refrigerator and let that marinate. Now, you want to do this a couple hours ahead of time. So because this is the magic of television, ta-da, I already have some pork strips that have been marinating for a while. And so now we're going to go ahead and plop them on the grill. So once we plop them on the grill, one thing you want to be careful with this Dale's marinade is that it is pretty stout. It's pretty salty. So don't let them marinate as long if you have a pretty low tolerance for salt. Also, it will stain anything it gets on. That's why I'm using my tongs here. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to take these one at a time, and we're going to lay them on our griddle. Hear that sizzle? That means it's cooking. Okay, we're going to get them all set out on here. And you can see the strips are different sizes. That's not that big of a deal. People want a bigger piece, they can grab one. People want a smaller piece, they can grab one of those as well. By the way, these little non-stick griddles are amazing. I love mine. I use it all the time. So we'll go ahead and get these on the grill. Try to lay them out as flat as you can so they cook as evenly as possible. Man, they already smell delicious. I wish you could smell it in here. All right, so we'll get those going. Now, while these are cooking, you're really going to only want to turn these a couple of times. So I have my my griddle on medium to medium-high heat. So you should really only have to turn these one time to get them medium well all the way through. You don't want them overdone because they'll dry out and things like that. It doesn't look very good. So while these are cooking and before we get them turned, let's go ahead and make our dipping sauce. So this is a Really easy dipping sauce. You can. A lot of people use it with prime rib, but I found out that using it with these pork bites, it's a phenomenal counter with the sour cream and everything to the saltiness of that pork. So we're going to add the sour cream to our bowl. Okay. And we're going to get some ground horseradish. And you can adjust this to your level of heat. I personally really enjoy horseradish. So I'm going to give it kind of a whopping tablespoonful of horseradish here. Okay. Then I'm going to add some dill. So I have some dill here in my shaker. I'm going to add that to it here. Boom, boom, boom. Then I'm just going to take my fork and mix it around. So we want to incorporate that horseradish all throughout. Man, it looks phenomenal. It looks great. Okay. Now, once that's done, we can let that thing sit. So we just let it sit here and we'll wait for our pork. It's almost ready to be turned. So let's take a peek here. Oh man, look at those nice grill marks we got going right there. Oh, it looks phenomenal. That level of char it comes from the marinade because it's a little sweet. It's soy sauce based. Man, it looks really good. Let's get these turned. Hudson, can we see the pork on the grill? We looking good? I got my son Hudson working the camera for me today. He's doing a fantastic job. Loves the Hokies. Okay. All right. So while those are cooking over here, let's travel back over here and let's work on our Ward 8 cocktail. So with this cocktail, we're going to use a shaking tin, and it's going to be rye whiskey based. So I have my Sazerac rye here, and we're going to start out with 2 ounces of rye whiskey. So I have 1.5 ounces jigger here. Okay. We're going to get 1. That's 1.5 ounces. And 2 ounces. Okay. So we have that. Okay. And that's really all the liquor that we're going to use for this. Okay. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a 1/2 ounce here. So we'll flip our jigger around. We're going to use, actually, it's a 1/4 ounce. So we're going to fill that up about halfway of orange juice. And then we're going to go a 1/4 ounce of lemon juice. I like the pre-squeezed lemon juice already. There we go. And we're going to add a little bit of grenadine. And so this grenadine, all it's going to take, it adds a little cherry flavor, adds a little bit of color. So we're going to add just a quick dash of grenadine. And now comes the fun part. Now comes the shaking. Okay? So we're going to get that going. The key with shaking is that you kind of want it to get a little bit of liquid from the ice that's already in there. You want everything to kind of come together. Everyone's got their own shaking style. All right. So here's how we're going to do. Here's how we're going to garnish it. So we're going to start out with a couple of Luxardo cherries. We're going to get our toothpick. We're going to stab these guys here. Boom. And remember, whenever you garnish something, you want an odd number. So if you're going with either 1 or 3, boom, right there. We're just going to rest that in the bottom of our glass, and we're going to pour everything over top. Okay? All right. So these are about done, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off my griddle top here. So now we simply take our Ward 8 cocktail, and we pour it over top of our cherries. And those cherries are going to be awesome there at the end. All right. So there's our Ward 8 cocktail. That's the color you want here. It's going to have lemon and orange with that rye whiskey. It's going to add a really nice flavor to it. Man, that is super tasty. It's kind of light. It's kind of crisp, and you definitely get the flavor of the rye whiskey and the sweetness of the rye whiskey in there. So let's go back over here, and let's take a peek at our pork. This is something so simple, so easy. Now I have my dipping sauce here. Okay, I have my pork bits. They are already done. They are cooked all the way through. They look phenomenal. They have that nice char to them at the end. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to dip it right in the sauce because it's just for me. and and here we go. Mm. It's tender. It's salty. That tiger dill sauce adds a little bit of coolness to it. It takes away from the salt content a little bit, but man, they are so good. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Man, that is so good. Thank you for tuning in to the 10-Minute Tailgate. My name is Coach Mike Holmes. Don't forget to follow the Sons of Saturday on all the social medias, X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. They have a page on LinkedIn too. Don't forget to follow me at Hokie Hitter. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to it, leave a comment if there's something that you think that you would like to see, or if you tried the recipe at home, leave a comment on the video. Also, look for the recipe on the Sons of Saturday webpage. I'll post a link to the article. It'll also be at the bottom of this video, so make sure to go ahead and check it out. Thank you again for watching, and as always, go Hokies.